So start as we often do by lifting and rolling the shoulders. Turn the head to one side, come to the centre and turn the head to the other side. Come back to the centre. Feet hip width apart, and this very familiar movement of swaying from side to side. So just a reminder that you can lift your heels or not, it's optional. I always tend to lift my heels so that I'm swaying and not straining my neck quite so much, but it's all optional. Moving all 5 energies in the body. And those energies are apana, I can remember them, which is believed to reside the downward energy from the lower pelvis right the way down through the hips and out through the feet. Then you've got the samana energy, which operates from side to side around the navel area and very much impacts on the digestion. You've got, not in any particular order, prana, which is the energy around the body and which is kind of pranayama in yoga, associated with the life-giving energy from the breath. And then, come in and take a mat from the kitchen, and you might want to go where you are there actually, because that's quite a nice space. So, and then the next energy up is Udana energy, which goes upwards from the chest, throat up the way out. It's our expression, speaking our truth. And then another energy is Vyana energy, which is all pervasive, and particularly fluidity in around the joints. I don't know if I've gone through 5, but anyway, so that's that. And just very gently come to slow down and just notice the movement in your body. Brilliant. Are you all right there? Yeah. Okay. So I'll just let you roll out the mat. Are you right there? Are you too much in the sun? Are you?
I could get over there.
Okay. I'll just.
In case someone else comes in.
Okay. Go wherever you want. So. Okay. Is the sun bothering you?
No.
You're right, are you? Okay. So Jill, just while we're just to catch up, we've only done one thing, and that was swaying from side to side. And then the rest of us to get ready to balance. So a balance balances the brain hemispheres. I'm not very good at balancing, so the cheats version is I'm going to keep my left foot on the ground and raise my right heel. For balance, I'm just going to rest my right heel against my left foot, my left ankle, and that's good enough. You get quite a nice turnout here, and you can be very yogic about it, having your hands here, or in Dhyana Mudra, thumb and finger together. If your balance is very good, and I'm sure that some of you are going to put me to shame, you can just begin to bring your foot up, and well done. And I've instantly got off balance. I'm glad you have too. And then just when you're ready, stay for as long as you need to. Just very gently come back and just slightly go from side to side. And even though I've managed to remember to record, I've somehow decapitated myself, which is not a good look. Mm-hmm. And I don't know quite how. Anyway, and then just come to lift and roll your shoulders, and then come to resting on the other side, so it's balancing on your right foot. Just lift. Within the tree, you're supposed to have your leg out to the side, rather than in, which I find quite difficult. And then the other thing, when you're well done, is that if you put too much weight on the outside leg, you bend at the hip, so you're pushing out too much pressure on the joint. So I think it's quite a tricky thing tree or Asana. And then just when you're ready, come out. I wanted to show you, by lifting and rolling the shoulders, a slightly cheats version of balance. So just raise your arms up, clasp and reverse, lift your heels. And that seems to be a balance that's much easier to stay on your toes, and then gently lower your heels and lower your arms. So this next one, feet hip width apart, and bring your arms forward, and then just very gently breathe out. Bend your knees and maybe bring your bottom away from you. Back of the neck is long, and then press your feet into the ground and stand up. And again, bending the knees, you'll engage your abdominal muscles. Arms out, bend the elbows if that's too much. And then coming up. And then once more, bend your knees, abdominal muscles, and then coming up. Lift and roll your shoulders. And then we're going to come to a seated position and come to have your legs loosely out in front of you. Perhaps have one leg straight. Try not to trip that over again. And this is a really odd movement. You're going to lift a leg and just shake the foot. So how you do it, it might be underneath, it might be on the top. Just shaking it. Again, it's just loosening off the joints. You'll just feel that. And then very gently set that foot down. And of course we're going to come to the other side and just gently shake. And then the invitation is, but it depends on your balance, you can shake both legs like a dead bug. And how you hold under your feet, or whether you hold your knees and just shake that way, is up to you.
That's much easier.
Oh, is it? Underneath? Okay. Yeah, I suppose so.
Much easier than standing on one leg.
So, yes, so then just release. And before I get you to sit down, the next one is one leg out, clasp under one leg, and just, it's the knee. So it's just lubricating all the, what's the liquid in the knee? It's no,
Synovial fluid.
fluid.
Well done.
What I should know.
And then just release, and the same with the other one, and just and then just very, very gently come to lie on the mat. Come into initially Shavasana, so that's just lying straight on the mat. And just circle your ankles in one direction. And then circle the ankles in the other direction. Leaving the left leg where it is, bend the right knee and hug the right knee into the chest. So this is working on the apana, or the lower energy. And although it is, as you say, only the lower energy, it's the foundational energy. And I think it's given a huge amount of importance, because if this is out, everything is out. And this can often get stuck because the lower, it impacts all the lower abdominal organs. So one very good way is the apana. This stimulates the apana energy. But then just roll the whole body, including lifting your hip off the ground. You might want your elbow to help you, with the bent right knee to the left. You could take, if you're at home, you could take a support under your right knee. Place your right hand on your right waist and your left hand just somewhere along the outer right thigh. And just either look up or look slightly to the right, just wherever your focus takes you. If you wanted to be very strict about this pose, you would extend your left heel so that your left leg is straight and activated. But if that is feeling that you're trying too hard, then just relax the left leg. And then very gently roll onto your back. You might feel that you need to readjust yourself, so hug your right knee into your chest, place your right foot on the floor, bend your left knee, both feet are on the floor, and I like to press my feet down and just lift and adjust my bottom so that it's more central. And then extend the right leg along the floor, hug the left knee into the chest. Just enjoy that hug, working on the apana energy, and actually working to some extent on the lower lymphatic system. And then very gently roll the entire body to the right. Your left hand goes on your left waist, and your right hand goes on somewhere along the left thigh or even the left knee. I think yogically you don't connect with the knee in this way, but just wherever it's comfortable. And your head either looks up, eyes open or closed, or slightly to the left. The importance of a rotation and rotating to however you want to turn to can't be underestimated. It really is hugely opening. And again, if you want to really activate this pose, extend your right heel so that you will feel the inside of your right leg and possibly the outside as well activating. But if that's too much, then just release the right leg. And then in your own time, just very gently roll once more onto your back. Place the left foot on the floor, bend your right knee, so both knees now bent, both feet are on the floor, back hip width apart. Hands either resting on your abdomen or resting palms down alongside you, and you might even want to have your feet a little bit wider and hip width apart as you gently sway the knees from side to side. Letting the weight of the the knees just takes you over. You'll feel a massage across the top of your bottom, and your hip lifts off the ground as you just let your knees roll a little bit or a lot from side to side. And as the knees are just swaying from side to side, you can optionally include your head. So you might like to turn your head gently away from the direction of the knees. If you find that your head is turning in the direction of the knees, that's fine too, and it is optional. So when you're in this lying position, the earth, so again we're focusing on the lower aspect of our energy, the apana aspect. The earth is supporting our body, and so it allows us to relax the muscles in a way that we perhaps might not do if we were standing. And then come to have your knees to the centre. Hug one knee in and then hug the other knee in. Holding both knees, again just rock very gently from side to side. And you'll find that you're rocking slightly on the back of the head, but higher up. And again, how much you want to rock is up to you. You can rock almost down to the elbow and use the elbow to support you, the upper arm to support you, to almost sway you back again. And then just hug the knees into the chest. Let both knees drift away from you to arm's length. And breathing out, hugging the knees into the chest. Breathing in, let both knees drift away from you to arm's length. And breathing out, hug both knees in to the chest. Again, just a few times in your own breath pattern. Working very much here on the Apana lower foundational energy. Very good, incidentally, for lower back issues. And you're massaging slightly up and down the spine at the lower vertebra, L4, L5 level, which is where all the heavy duty work goes often on our backs. Where people with lower back issues often have a problem on those two discs. And then just very gently enjoy hugging your knees into your chest one more time. And then very gently bring your feet to the ground. And we're going to roll to the side, so if the right side's available to you, please roll to the right, but otherwise to the left, come up. We're going to come up to a seated position and then very quickly go to kneeling on all fours. And we're going to come into all fours. If you can, I'll turn around. So just tabletop position. Just sway your knees from your hips from side to side. And then round your back, your chin comes to your chest. Bring your bottom towards your heels. They don't have to go right down to the heels. And then elbows in as you dip your back. Dip your back and look either up or along the mat. Round your back. Bottom comes towards the heels. Stretching your ankle on your back. Elbows in as you dip your back. Round, dipping the back in the centre. It's almost like a cat-cow, but it's a slightly different way. Round your back, chin to chest. Bottom goes towards the heels. Dip your back as you come through, looking either up or along the mat. And then bring your bottom towards your heels. Bottom stays up in the air as you bring your elbows to the ground. So you're in a form of puppy pose. And then bring your right arm across you. Right hand is pointing to the left. And then extend your left arm, bringing your bottom, stretching your bottom back towards your heels. You can rest your forehead on the back of your right hand or wrist. We're coming into quarter dog. Just adjust to feel that it's good for you. You can bring your bottom back as little or as much as you like. And you're stretching out along the left side. And then very gently bring your bottom upright again and swap hands. So now that your left hand goes across you, your left fingers point to the right. Stretching out your right hand. You can come onto your fingertips or just have your right hand arms on the ground. Quarter dog on the right side. If that's tight onto your right arm, then just bend your right elbow so there's not so much stretch under the right arm. Quarter dog on this side. And then very gently come to bring the big toes together. The knees go wide apart and come into a child's pose. Your arms can be bent, resting your head on your forehead. Your hands can be straight ahead, stretching out. You don't have to bring your bottom right down. Or you can be more classic with child's pose, arms alongside you and palms up to the ceiling. Whatever or whichever position you choose, just enjoy taking a couple of breaths. And the breath goes more to the back of the body. And then very gently releasing, coming out of that to kneel up. And we're going to be coming now to a seated position. So come to a seated position, however that works for you. I'm going to come into a cross-legged position. If you want to have your legs out, that's fine. We're going to be focusing on the neck. So just hands either side, lengthening, and then hands can rest in the lap, or you can rest on the knees, or you can come into Jnana Mudra, thumb and second finger together. And once more, breathe in, turn your head to the left. Breathing out, turn your head to the right. Breathe in to the left. And breathe out to the right. Come to the centre. Drop your chin to the chest. And like a pendulum, just use your chin like a pencil to roll your chin up towards the right shoulder. It doesn't have to go right over the right shoulder, just towards. Drop your chin like a pendulum to the centre and let your chin trace its path up towards the left. And breathing out, bring your chin back to the chest again. Bring your head up. And now, turn your head slightly to the right, chin comes in, and sort of tilt your head to the left. So basically, you can use your left hand just to have over your head. I hope this makes sense, that you're stretching out the neck. I'm not a great fan of this pose, I don't know why, but it's quite a good one for the neck. Take a breath in and out. Release your hands if you've used your hands, come upright, and then come to chin to chest, turn the head to the side, and come to look towards the left. And then coming up to the centre. Lift and roll the left shoulder back a couple of times. Roll the shoulder forward. And then lift and roll the shoulder back to set the pose. And then lift and roll the right shoulder a couple of times. Roll the right shoulder forward. And then set the right shoulder, rolling it back. And again, breathing in, turn to the left. Come to the centre and turn to the right. Come to the centre, go to the left, and then breathing out, come to the right. Come back to the centre. So unusually, halfway in this series, we're going to do something called the Tibetan breaths. It's only a mini version. Breathe in through both nostrils, raise the left hand, turn the left palm outwards, and then your third finger will block your left nostril. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through both nostrils, lowering your left hand. Breathe in through both nostrils, raising your right arm, Turn the palm, block your right nostril. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. And breathe out through both nostrils, lowering your right arm. Breathe in through both nostrils, raising your left arm. Turn the palm to outwards, block your left nostril, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through both nostrils, lowering your left arm. Breathe in through both nostrils, raising your right. Block your right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. And breathe out through both nostrils, lowering your right arm. Keep both hands on your knees. Breathe in, just lift yourself up slightly, tummy comes in. Breathe out, lengthen along your spine, chin to chest. Breathe out, just nod forward a little bit. Breathe in, sit up again. And breathe out, releasing and relaxing. So we're going to come to standing. Come to standing however that works for you. So I'm going to just drop my knees to the side. Come to kneeling, tucking the toes underneath and rolling up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Bend your knees, use your hands for support if you need to. And lift and roll your shoulders coming back. So bring hands to chest level, opening under your arms. If this is too much, then just lower your arms. But in any case, we're going to open the arms out. Again, if it's too much, just soften the elbows. Bring the arms to the chest. And then lower the arms slightly below the chest level, just below the bust level. And again, opening the arms out. And breathing out. Come to the centre. And then just release the arms back again. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, raise the arms, bend the elbows and clasp, when I say your elbows, around the elbows area. Just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in again and breathe out. And then lower the arms, raising out. And then lower back again. And then breathing in, raise the arms up. And breathing out, lower the arms. So this next one is very Tibetan. And it's using your fists. So for men and women, different ways of doing that. But bring your right fist to your forehead. I mean, it's ludicrous, isn't it? And bring your left fist to your ribs. So this is opening your lungs, which is quite interesting. So breathing in and breathing out. And then breathing in and breathing out. And then opening your arms and lowering the arms. And then the same thing again, left fist to the ribs somewhere, and right fist to the back of the neck, the nape of the neck. So breathing in and breathing out. And then breathing in and breathing out. Release as you open your arms out to the side. And just release and lift and roll your shoulders. So it won't surprise you that we reverse this. So fists again, right hand goes to the somewhere along the ribs, left hand goes to the third eye of the forehead. Breathing in and breathing out. There are all kinds of benefits to this, and I will read them afterwards. Breathing in and breathing out. Raise the arms out and lower. And then again, the same thing, fists, right hand to the right ribs, left hand to the nape of the neck. And again, you can feel that you kind of stand up a bit differently here, breathing in and breathing out. And then breathing in and breathing out. And then opening the hands up, out, and lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders, and clasp the hands behind you, aiming the knuckles to the ground, opening the shoulders. Just lift the hands away from you, breathing in and breathing out. And I find this very difficult. But when you clasp your hands, you're supposed to have the thumbs together, which means that you won't lift out quite so far, and I find that really difficult, but it's an option, there's an invitation to join your thumbs together, breathing in and breathing out. And then release. Just shake your hands. And then circle the wrists so that you're going up. Stretch your fingers out, slightly lift your chin, and then come upright with your head as you circle your hands down. And then again, circle the hands up. And circle the hands down. Make fists again, raise the hands up. This looks ludicrous. You're kind of connecting to your crown of your head. Breathing in, but again, you're opening up under your arms, so it's very good for your upper lymphatic system. Breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then just raising your arms out and breathing out, lowering your hands. But this is very much like the opening sequence for one of the Qigong practices for complete and overall health, and it works very much on the shoulders, the neck, your respiratory system. This just happens to be in the Tibetan system, which is slightly different and slightly sort of wacky, but there again, just lift and roll your shoulders. Step, if you can manage your balance, your right foot crosses over the left, and just raising your hands up. You will naturally take one wrist and just come over to one side, come upright and just go over to the other side, come upright and lower your hands. So even the crossover of your legs or your wrists connects into the brain. The brain registers, so I'm understanding that there's a crossover. And so even though it's brilliant for older people who might have the beginnings of dementia, because even though they might not be able to balance, which is great for the mind, they can definitely do this. Uncross your right leg, and then left leg over right, which I find more difficult. Raise your arms up, and then again, your hand will naturally hold one wrist, and then again, just go to one side. You can feel it's a slightly different stretch along the body. Come upright, and then go over to the other side. And then come upright, stretching up, and then releasing your hands down, and then just uncross your legs. Lift and roll your shoulders. And this, again, you'll find it in various systems, but you'll find it also in the Carrier Warrior system. So it's a variation on the theme of going from side to side. So turn to the left, lift your right heel up, and just raise your hands up, and perhaps look up. Breathing out, just lower your hands, come to the centre, turn to the right, lift your left heel, and just sway up. So then you'll just carry on from side to side. And just swing your arms down. It's a total release as you just almost look up. The eye up disconnects the brain from the stress centres. The eyes up disconnects the mind from the stress centres of the brain. I hope that makes sense. And then up and down and up and down. And then come to the centre and just bring your arms to and fro, lift and roll your shoulders. This is familiar again. Up, back, cross your arms, hug, back. Up, back, cross the other side, but if you forget, don't worry, hug, back. Up, down, cross, back. Up, down, cross the other way. If you forget your crosses, don't worry. And then in your own time, once you've got the pattern, up, down, cross, up, down, cross, up, down, cross, up, down, cross. And then just swing your arms. And then open your arms outwards. Hug yourself. Self-compassion. Chin to chest, and just sway slightly from side to side. It's very nice to open the upper back. Chin to chest activates the vagus nerve, which is good for anti-inflammation. Breathing in, sitting up, opening the arms out, and if you can remember which arm was the other arm now. Hug, self-compassion, chin to chest. And then just opening, lifting and rolling the shoulders. And then Tibetan triangle, which is very different from any other triangle. Feet hip width apart. Raising your right arm. The inner arm goes towards the ear, the right ear. If you're stretching too much under the right arm, just lower the elbow. Left hand goes to the left thigh. Tummy in, perineum engages, just come over and slightly dynamically bounce in and out, chin slightly to chest. You can still turn the chin if you want to and look upwards, but possibly I would suggest looking forwards or down even. Tummy in, press your feet down, come to standing and lower the right arm. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then snake the left arm up, turn the left arm to face the left ear. Stretch up, right hand on the right thigh, tummy in, perineum engages. Feel that you're between two panes of glass, chin in, just snake in and out, a dynamic movement. So you're opening the intercostal muscles, stretching along the side. It's a lateral stretch. And then breathing in, upright, stretch up, and then lower your hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, circle the hands up, let them touch at the top. Breathe out, come through the centre, bend your knees, slide your hands down the legs to the shins. Half lift as you press your hands into the shins, lifting and lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathe out, soften the knees, soften the elbows. Breathe in, straighten your legs, press your hands into the shins and a half lift again. Stay here as you breathe out. Breathe in, soften your knees, press your feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Inhale, exhale, hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, circle your hands up, palms meet. Breathing out, come through the centre to the heart centre and then carry on through bending your knees, your elbows are bent anyway. Hands slide down to the shins, half lift, lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathe out as you bend your knees, bend the elbows. Breathe in, half lift again. This time you stay here as you breathe out. Breathe in, soften the knees, press the feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch your hands up thumbs behind you, little fingers in front, and then just circle your wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. And we're going to come to lying on our tummies, which is not something we do that often. But come to Sphinx, so lying on the elbows. Just adjust, look down at the floor, just adjust your elbows so that you feel that you're pressing into your elbows and pulling your body a millimetre forwards and then releasing back again. So this is classified as a back bend because you're lifting from the chest. And as such, it's very uplifting movement, uplifting for the mood. So just breathing in and out. And then to open the lung meridians, tuck the left toes underneath you, extend the left heel back, and your left leg might lift off the ground as you extend the left heel back. Release the left leg to the ground, untuck your left toes, top of the left foot on the ground, and just wobble your bottom from side to side, jelly wobble. And then tuck your right toes underneath. Extend the right heel back, lift the right leg off the ground, opens you at the front of the hip. And then gently release the right leg to the ground, relax the top of the right foot back onto the ground, heels out to the side, jelly wobble. And then with your feet getting into the upper lymphatic system, if you just tap the top of the feet on the floor. Is that right, Sue? It's upper lymphatic system?
Yes, upper lymphatic system below the toes at the front, yeah.
So again, boosting our immune system for the coming winter. Ahead, and then just release, heels out, just jelly wobble again. And then coming to a form of child pose that works for you. So I'm sliding my hands back. If you don't like pressing your hands down, then you can roll to the side and come up. But I'm just going to press my hands down, kneel up, and my feet, big toes together, knees wide apart. I'm going to have my hands, one fist on top of the other, and rest my forehead on my hands, making two fists. My elbows slightly out. So my bottom's not quite connecting to my heels, but I'm just almost my heart's level to the ground, not quite, but very restful for the body. The heart hasn't got to do an awful lot. The breath is directed more to the back. And then very gently, we're going to come to lying on our backs, knees bent, feet hip width apart. And come to hands laying palms down alongside you. Come to pelvic tilt, so flattening the back to the ground, as if you're going to lift your bottom, and then just relaxing, and there's a little gap under your lower back. Flattening the back, as if you're going to lift your bottom, and then just releasing. The next time you can actually, and this is optional, press your feet into the ground, lift your bottom up a little bit, your chin slightly comes to the chest as you lengthen the back of your neck, bend at the elbows, lift the elbows up above you so your arms are bent, backs of the hands might come to the floor behind you, your chin is really into your chest, and then start breathing out and lower your bottom back down to the ground. Your arms will follow. Bring your bottoms back down to the ground, hug your knees into your chest, and just rock the knees from side to side. Supporting the underneath your thighs to bring your feet back down to the earth again, with the same position, knees up the ceiling, feet hip width apart. press the feet into the ground, press the hands into the ground, lift the bottom, chin comes to the chest, bend at the elbows, raising the arms above you. You can lift up as little or as much as you would like, stretching the arms out as much or as little as you would like. And then start to breathe out, lowering the back and the bottom to the ground, lowering your arms. When the bottom and back are connected back down to the ground, hug the knees into the chest, just very gently rock from side to side. And then drop your hands up to underneath your thighs. I like to clasp my hands, but however that works for you, and just gently let your feet drift up to the ceiling. Your knees can be bent, chin, just again check that the back of the neck's long, and just slightly sway from side to side, knees can be bent. And imagine yourself like a piece of seaweed, just very gently floating in the sea as the water just laps. It's your inversion, it's a very mini inversion. So if you wanted to at home to do this for a longer period of time, you could rest your legs either up the wall or over a chair in a semi-supine position. But inversions are said to rebalance the endocrine or hormonal system, so it's supposed to be very good. We're just doing a nod to an inversion today, and then bending the knees, hug your knees into your chest again, just to enjoy that apana energy. Just very gently sway slightly from side to side. And then just supporting the legs to bring one foot and another foot down onto the ground. And you can either stay with your knees bent, you can have your feet wider apart and the knees touching, that's called constructive rest, or you can just, for the next couple of minutes, relax along the ground in Shavasana, so flat with your palms either turned up in classic Shavasana or resting on your abdomen if you would like that, but adopt whatever position works for you. And just nothing for you to do now. Let go and bring your attention very lightly to the feet. Relax and release the feet. The big toes, second, third, fourth and little toes, relax. The space beyond the toes, relax. Tops of the feet, soles of the feet, heels, ankles, calves, shins, knees, tops of the knees, backs of the knees, thighs, hips, lower abdomen, moving through, going through the liver, stomach, all the way up to the chest, the heart, the ribs, the collarbones, along the collarbones to the shoulders, opening them and releasing them back to the earth, along the tops of the arms, the elbows, inside the elbows, backs of the elbows, along the forearms, wrists, backs of the hands, the palms, thumbs, second fingers, third, fourth, little fingers, and space beyond the fingers. Bring the attention to the lower back, moving along the vertebra, up the spine, the mid-back, the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, back of the head, the ears, the space between the ears, top of the head, forehead, across the eyebrows, the eyes, temples, along the jawbone, chin, throat. The chin again, lower lips, upper lips, teeth. And come to rest your attention at the base of the nostrils. Breathing in, imagine the air like a transparent veil going from the nostrils to a point that you imagine to be the centre of your head. And as you breathe out, imagine this veil of air drifting and descending down through the body. And you put into that outward breath anything that you don't want, that's not serving you today. And let it drift down through the body, leaving through the soles of the feet. Again, breathing in that fine, transparent veil of air to the centre of the head. And breathing out, letting the air carry away anything that's not serving you today. Any thought, any niggle, anything through the soles of the feet. And have a thought for the day. It could be a wish for yourself, or it can be a wish for somebody or some bodies close to you or not close to you. Have a thought for the day and just mentally think that a couple more times. It's called sankalpa. And having set your intention for the day, just let it drift away. The intention has been set. And now as you bring your attention back to the nose, base, the entrance to the nostrils, pick a colour, any colour that resonates with you today. And as you breathe in your air once more, imagine the air is now coloured with the colour of your choice, going once again to the centre of the head, and breathing out, just letting the air drift down through the body, all the way through, taking with it anything that you don't want, cleansing as it goes, healing, and through the soles of the feet. And again, bringing your attention to the nostrils. As you breathe in your colour air, just let it expand now, not just inside the body, but just outside the body, so that you're enveloped and wrapped in a cocoon of coloured air, coloured protection. And then just let that breath go, drifting back through the earth, connecting once more with the earth and the apana energy on the outward exhalation. And take a moment now to notice where you're lying and the texture of the clothes, the feel of the clothes on your skin. Notice the sound, both outside and inside. And if you haven't already, begin to bend your legs, bend at the knees so that the feet are now resting on the floor. And take your hands and just rub your hands together, creating energy in the hands. And when your hands feel warm, just place your hands over your closed eyes, palming, and gently let your eyes open into the darkness of the hands. Let your hands drift away from your face. Hug the knees perhaps into the chest once more, just rocking gently from side to side. And we're going to come to one side and roll into a seated position. But come up gently, no sudden movements to spoil the relaxation that we've had. Just gently touch your fingers to either side of you. Slide your hand slightly to the left and bend your right elbow. Chin to the chest, just a lateral stretch once more. Come upright and then slide the right hand to the right as you bend the left elbow, coming over to the right, in and out gently. Come back to the centre, just slightly lengthen forward. You can have your hands out to the side, or you can have your hands in front of you. Walk the hands back, rest the hands on the knees. Bring the hands to the heart centre. Just drift the fingers out, connect to the element of air and the sense of touch as you bring your hands back to your heart, chin to chest. Breathing in, just gently let the hands float, feel the air through the fingers, breathing out, chin to chest. And as we do this for one last time, opening the hands out to the side, chin to chest, take a bow for yourself to enjoy the day ahead. Thank you.